Bam! All right. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? It is Wednesday, August 27th, 2025. That means that we are the first day into the 53-man roster. Cut days was yesterday, you guys. So a lot of things went down. What can we expect out of the Detroit Lions? We're going to poke around a little bit here, guys, and take a look-see at biggest names trimmed from rosters. Just some guys that were cut through the league while we tickle the footballs of the NFL nationwide algorithmic clankers before we get into talking about the Detroit Lions, because that's what we're all here for, guys. This is the Hat and Beard Show, and we mostly talk about our Detroit Lions. Breaking news this morning. Our guy. A guy that we had heard was being possibly shopped around, possibly even a cut candidate because of the emergence of two drafted and one undrafted rookie wide receiver who unfortunately was waived yesterday, but maybe he'll be back after this maneuver. Detroit Lions are going to go ahead and unload my boy. Oh, my boy. Fireball Tim Patrick traded to Jacksonville just first thing this morning, you guys. That is breaking news. I want to know what your take on is the Fireball Tim Patrick news. We'll discuss in the chat. Then there's 5 takeaways from the Lions' strange 53-man roster. Now, originally, it looked like we were down to 49, but we've already made some roster moves, some free agent acquisition, some special teams players being brought in. We'll talk about that later as well today, but we will take 5 takeaways here at prideofdetroit.com. What's going on? What's going on with this 53-man roster? What's going on? Jeremy Reisman has that for us. Before looking at yesterday's news, Tim 20-man breaking down the 53-man roster. Guys, it's going to be one of those shows, man, where we're going to be talking about players. We're just going to be talking. It's a conversation. We got some bottoms to powder and some soothing to do for some of us here with this roster. There's still some hanging question marks as to what's going on here. There is then the news this morning: Lions signing veteran special teams ace from Jacksonville. He was recently released. We'll discuss that. We only have two natural, pure-blooded safeties on roster. We only have 3 safeties on roster as is. But Avonte Maddox, though listed as a safety, is kind of a tweener hybrid player. Same with Rock Ya-Sin, who's listed as a corner first. So we did bring in a little veteran safety help, mostly to bolster that special teams play, I guess. Eric Hallett and Ian Kennelly weren't satisfactory enough. No, we need a busted, broken down special teams ace. You guys, then we're going to talk about a couple of names that are free agents that I would like the Lions to go ahead and take a little snifferoo, see what's going on with you, Cole Strange, right? We need interior offensive line developmental help at the center position. And why not take a little look at 2022's New England Patriots former first-round pick, even though he's coming off of a torn patella tendon and not really been able to get it going in New England, as we know, especially here in Detroit. Sometimes guys just need a little change of scenery and a little refresher. Why not put him in the perfectly sculpting, developing player hands of Hank Fraley? Let old Hank do his thing and to get ourselves a possibly viable backup, though not very good in the run game, I'm going to be honest. And then also, another guy we want to, I'm kind of thinking, why not take a little look at the Raiders' former player and recently released by the Washington Commies, Cleveland Farrell, former number 4 overall pick a few years back. But, average, if not better than average. But I think he's got a little bit more flash in the pan, a little bit more gas in the tank, a little bit more quicker on his step than, say, a guy that y'all are just like champing at the bit for in, what's his name there? Zadarius Smith. Yeah, no, I'm sold on Zadarius. I'm not sold on Zadarius Smith. I don't know why everybody is so incredibly high on him. So, good morning, everybody, you Mad Hatters down in the chat. How you doing? I'm Chasing Chase, Brent DeWitt, Jeff Ginnard. How you doing? Is it Ginnard or Ginnard? Brad is cooking. We have so many wide receivers. We'll be fine. I know we got plenty of wide receivers. The Fireball Tim Patrick news does not bother me at all. I am just a fan of Tim Patrick personally. but I knew he was an expense that was going to be either have such a reduced, diminished role in our offense come the end of the regular season that, look, if you can get a little bit of draft capital, and let's be honest, Brad Holmes loves them 6th-round picks, right? And he likes to wheel and deal those 6th-round picks. So stockpiling draft capital in the Brad Holmes era is not a bad thing. This just paves the way for Isaac Tesla, Khalif Raymond to kind of produce early on before finally being overtaken. I think Isaac Tesla has a very bright future, and this is really just Brad Holmes just putting all the confidence in the young man that he named his favorite wide receiver coming into this year's draft. Was able to get his dirty little dick beaters on him, and he seems to be everything we've wanted him to be, and a bag of potato chips. So let's go. Not worried about the Fireball Tim Patrick news. I agree with Brent DeWitt. Good morning, brother. Edge and backup center depth is still my hope. We also only have 3 edges now. I know, dude, and that is a terrifying thing. There was news that we settled an injury settlement with Ahmed Hassanin. So he is no longer a Detroit Lion. But the way that the injury settlement works out is, let's be real. Nobody was going to be picking up Ahmed Hassanin because if they pick him up, they're going to have to put him on the active 53-man roster. He's got the pectoral injury. A injury settlement with Ahmed means that he's out. We're paying him for 6 weeks, and then he's got to sit for 3 weeks, and then we have the option of picking him back up. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that we will see Ahmed Hassanin back in-house for the Detroit Lions. Oh, Art Vanderlei, say it isn't so. Rumors about Parsons going to the Packers would ruin my week, dude. Let's hope that Micah Parsons doesn't go to the Packers. I hope Jerry Jones just really fumbles the ball and screws the pooch on the whole Micah Parsons situation. Personally, be it that I grew up in the era of the Dallas Cowboys being America's team, and considering the history that the Detroit Lions have as far as the Zebras and the Dallas Cowboys is concerned, I like seeing Dallas flub it. I like it. It's fun to me. I enjoy it. I don't like Dak Prescott. I think Mike Parsons is awesome. He's an all-world everything defensive end. But Dallas is just dirty. They're gross. I like to see them getting karmic justice, if it were. You know what I mean? So let's hope that Jerry Jones, whose eyes are too close together, or his eyes are too far apart. My eyes aren't too far apart. Hopefully he really fumbles the ball in the Micah Parsons situation. My mic has an echo. Might have another input open or something. Okay. Is it echoing on your guys' end? See, dude, I was wondering about that, Art. Because it echoes in my headset, but I can't tell what it's like for you guys. I don't know what that means about another input open. Hang on. Do 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 do. All right. Did that seem to clear it up at all? Uh-oh. What's going on? What's going on? I have no idea. Is it so? Now I don't even have the chat. Okay, there we go. Now the chat's bathroom echo like the Doors. Shit. I don't know, man. Is this helping at all? Start at 0 and work our way up. Work our way up. Work our way up. Work our way up. Can you hear me now? Shit. Still the same. So it's still echoing on your end too, huh? Well, guys, we're just going to have to deal with it for a second here while we fuck around. Hang on. It's not bad on Brent's end. Last year's Cowgirls game was better than Christmas. Jeff, you are correct about that. Sorry, guys. We're just going to have to struggle for a second here. Did that remedy it at all? I'm still getting echo in my headphones. Sounds doubled. Yeah, Chase, that's what it, like, I feel like I sound like a transformer. Before time began, there was a cube. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's better for you now, Brent? All right. I still sound like I'm in a fucking toaster oven on my side. Nope, that didn't fix it. Do the rest of the show as Optimus Prime. NFL News Cuts Live Updates. Biggest names trimmed from roster. Coming to you from yahoosports.com. Shit. So what do you guys think? Do you want to? Should we just keep fucking around trying to fix this, or should we just push on through? Push on through. Oh wait, here we go. Hang on. What's this here? Hang on. Echo is usually caused by your microphone picking up sound. Oh. Okay. Does the thing is, dude, is I don't have the audio coming through my speakers. Hang on. What about now? Yeah, no, I don't have any audio coming through my speakers. Oh, what about that? Is it still echoing? Is it still echoing for you guys now? Is that better? Because now I have nothing in my headphones. Now I've got nothing in my headphones. Just roll with it, says Brent. Better? It's better now it's better, Art. Now you got her. All right. No echo now? All right, cool. Good. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas, boys. Now we're cooking with gas. Let's go. Now we're just some Now will it come through my headphones? I feel like a fucking caveman, dude. Oh, hang on. Super echo back. Okay. All right. So I gotta have the sound off on my laptop. All good. All right. Cool. You can still hear it, but not bad. You guys are killing me. I'm killing myself. Not really. I'm not fucking. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm going to have to do, boys, is we're going to have to struggle bus it for the rest of the day, and then I'm probably going to have to uninstall and then reinstall OBS. It's probably what's going to have to happen, isn't it? There's so much shit I want to do. We could make a video to pimp Grandma Studio One. Pizza or chicken? Why not put pizza? Why not put chicken on the pizza, dude? Barbecue chicken pizza. TJ says. We're just gonna roll with it. You guys can hear me though, right? You can hear me because I can't hear shit. I have no idea. But y'all say the echo's gone. Thumbs up, echo's gone. Let's just roll so I can get out of this big shot. I don't like this big image of me.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
All right, guys, if I'm missing some of your chats this morning, we're having some epic. Check for multiple microphones. Disable any extra microphones, such as built-in laptop mic or webcam mic, to prevent from creating a feedback loop. All right. Check for multiple, so like my like multiple inputs. All right, so here's the thing. I think it's Art that said that. Audio. I only have one microphone, and everything else, like all my other ones are disabled. I've just got my what's that? big, strong boy. I'm a big, strong man. Big, strong, manny man. This is getting to be a pain in the. I am such a fucking Luddite, you guys. Like, what up, Mr. Detroit City? Doing an inspection in West Palm Beach. Hey man, you do your work, brother. You get that money, dude. You stack that paper, son. We are just. You guys are watching a caveman try and do. Hang on. Bam. How's that now? So I know. Okay, I know that if I. All right, we're gonna do one final check. Am I echoing on your guys' end now? Because I'm still echoing in my headphones. And I know that if I at least disable the sound, I don't echo as much. At least in my headphones, and you guys say not so much on your end. So we're going to hope that things have squared up. It's going to be one of them shows today, boys. It's just been one of them fucking weeks, man. Good? All right, cool. Homeboys make some noise. What up, TJ? How you doing, brother? All right, we're going to go ahead and just turn that down so it stops echoing in my headphones. If it's not echoing on your guys' end. All right, over here at Yahoo Sports, some cuts to yesterday, some bigger news. Cam Akers was cut by the Saints, 2 Achilles tears during his career. We'll do that. Trent Brown was once a Super Bowl champion with the Patriots, now 32-year-old, is a good bet to be picked up by somebody off the waiver wire. Cut from the Houston Texans. Tommy, baby, Tommy. I seen Tommy got cut I seen Tommy Cutlets got cut yesterday. I was like, oh, where's Tommy Cutlets, huh? Bring in Tommy DeVito to the Motor City, huh? We could use your services here. You're way better than Hendon Hooker. You're still younger than Kyle Allen. Hey, Tommy DeVito, baby. Let's go. I'm all about Tommy DeVito. Greg Dulcich was cut by the Giants as well. Audric Estime, I don't know how to exactly pronounce his name. He's out of Notre Dame, but had some flashes last year with the Denver Broncos, kind of down in the goal line situation. A little bit bigger bodied guy. He got hurt his rookie season, never came together for him in Detroit, which drafted running back R.J. Harvey in the second round this past April. Someone else will take a chance on Estime, who only turns 22 in September. Damn, he's a very young guy. Clelin Ferrell by the Commies, the 4th overall pick in 2019. Will be looking for his 4th team after being cut by the Commanders. He has a place in an edge rusher rotation somewhere in the league, and that's a guy that we're kind of... it's Clelin Ferrell. Why not? Why not take a flyer on him? You know what I'm saying? I pulled it up here just so we could kind of take a little looky-loo at Clelin Ferrell. Most recently with the Washington Commies. He is 28 years old, 6'4", 265 pounds. He is 58.5% grade overall by PFF. Snap count he's got last year, 396. 16 pressures, 13 tackles. Not necessarily the most productive player in the league, but still, if you're looking for somebody with a little bit more in the tank than, say, a 500-year-old Zadarius Smith or any of these other washed-up defensive ends, Clelin Ferrell does have a journeyman tag on him. There's a reason why he's been able to kick around and hang out in the league for as long as he has. Does Clelin Ferrell at all interest you guys as far as being possibly a rotationary player for the Detroit Lions? I personally kind of like that move right there, but we will see. Kenyon Green, no surprise there, drafted by the Eagles. They traded him with Houston, when Houston brought in CJ GJ. Who's not working out so well down there in Detroit. The former first-round pick couldn't make the team. Either he's picked up on waivers or he gets some time on a practice squad. The lauded Eagles offensive line coach, Jeff Stroudlin, not a bad pair of outcomes. Jake Haener, not a big surprise there after sitting last year due to suspension for the majority of the season. The Saints, under the new regime of Kellen Moore, probably not so high on Jake Haener. He does throw the ball 1,000 miles an hour, but welcome to the UFL, Jake Haener. Spencer Rattler's going to be the starter for the Saints with Tyler Shuck backing him up down there. Mecole Hardman bouncing around the league, getting cut by the Packers. Good, I like to see that. Hendon Hooker, Lions QB. A developmental project from the start. Hooker was selected by the Lions in the 3rd round in 2023 while still rehabbing a torn ACL suffered in college. Now he has a chance at a fresh start. Might Jets offensive coordinator Tanner Eggstrand, his former passing coordinator, be interested in working with him further? We shall see. But Hendon Hooker never really showing that he has what it takes, what it has to take, or what it has to make it in the NFL. Getting all stumbled up on my words. The Browns cut kicker Dustin Hopkins. The Browns also released Deontay Johnson, who had success early on in his career with an aged Big Ben Roethlisberger throwing him a lot of slants and a lot of short passes, kind of padding out his stats, but never really able to put it together with anybody other than Big Ben. Hunter Renfrow, after taking a year off from the NFL in 24, Renfrow is looking to catch on with another team. It won't be the Panthers, but Renfrow doesn't turn 30 until December and has 269 nice catches for 2,800 yards and 17 touchdowns in his career. Hunter Renfrow, sneaky guy. Does he have that redemption story, that comeback style play in him, or is he washed? We shall see. Desmond Ridder, there's another guy that I kind of thought about as a possible backup quarterback situation project. He's young. He only turns 26 on Sunday, and he started 18 NFL games, thrown for 4,000 yards and 16 touchdowns with 14 interceptions. Very Jared Goffian style numbers. Could he possibly be a guy that the Lions maybe take a little sniff around, kick the tires on? See, could he be the guy? Shiloh Sanders gets cut. No surprise there. Isaiah Simmons getting cut by the Packers. Isaiah Simmons, former first-round pick. Is Simmons a linebacker or a defensive back? A third NFL team now has not yet figured that out, though some franchises value versatility, i.e. the Detroit Lions, more than others. The 27-year-old former first-round pick might still have suitors around the league. And here's the guy that I put up. When I seen this news yesterday, I had a strange feeling about this. I was like, golly, stranger things have happened, and I just found myself strangely considering the strangeness of Cole Strange being cut by the Patriots. Former first-round pick back in 2022. You may remember Billy Blue Chew Belichick selecting Strange late in the first round in 2022, when most projections had him as a day 2 pick at best. Strange's career was derailed by a bit by a torn patella tendon late in 2023, but teams are always looking for O-line help. And if Billy Blue Chew once believed in him, why wouldn't somebody else? Why wouldn't the Detroit Lions and Hank Fraley, Brad Holmes, and Dan Campbell decide, hey, you know what, this guy's got some grittiness to him. We can mold him, and he's got first round caliber, pedigree, supposedly, according to Billy Blue Chew. But I like this Cole Strange guy. I know he's not so great in the run blocking, but, in his limited exposure last year, he still graded out as a 79 pass blocking. Now, they are trying to transition this guy from guard to center. We don't have an absolute need for a starting center right now, but we do have a need for interior offensive line help. A little tweener guy like a Cole Strange, just to see what do you got to lose? What do you got to lose? You bring him in, sample him, sniff him, kick the tires, stick a mirror under his nose, see if it steams up, call it good. You know what I'm saying? Could Cole Strange possibly be a sneaky addition to the Detroit Lions that ends up being possibly our heir apparent to the center position for the next couple of years? I'm not necessarily against it. I actually think the guy has a lot to prove, and there is something to be said about a fresh start elsewhere. I really think Hank Fraley is the guy that could unlock Cole Strange. MVS was cut by the Seahawks, and he is the only guy that was cut yesterday that walks away with a $3 million payday, because MVS, I don't know how MVS has managed to stay in the league as long as he is. He's not that good. He doesn't have the stats to back anything up. Yeah, he can run down the field really fucking fast. So could John Ross. That didn't work out. But MVS was able to bag himself a 1-year, $3 million guaranteed contract, so when he was released by the Seattle Seabags yesterday, well, they had to cut him a steamy hot check for $3 million. Bobby Trees cut by the Steelers. The 500-year-old wide receiver was battling for the number 3 or 4 point wide receiver 3 or 4 spot, but not enough to make it in the Steel City with old Aaron Rodgers slinging him the rock, so Bobby Trees is now a free agent. Just some names that were popped off. I talked about Cleveland Farrell. We spotlighted Cleveland Farrell and Cole Strange. with a honorable mention. Legit, what do you guys think about Tommy Cutlets? What do you think about Tommy Cutlets? Huh? How do you feel about Tommy DeVito? Huh? Hey, baby, let's go Tommy DeVito in Motor City. Seems like a nice little match made in hell right there. How we doing, chat? Oh, it's been a life. Yeah, dude, it's kind of just the way things are going this week, hasn't it, Chase? So, good. Getting ready for another disappointing Bears season that will blame on bad coaching, bad O-line like every year, Bear down. Oh, Tease, you're a Bears fan. Well, welcome, dude. We try to be pretty polite to you guys, but not a Bears fan over here. Active Bears hater. Can't stand Benedict Arnold Osama Ben Johnson, the traitor in the Windy City. He's going to lose every game that he's ever head coach for. So it's going to be a long couple of years for you guys while Ben Johnson never wins a single game. You know what I'm saying? My one grandpa was born in Detroit. I should just switch to a Lions fan at this point. Come on over, dude. Come on over, brother. The Lions bandwagon is really nice, bro. And not for nothing, Chicago Bears, they make you guys park outside. Here in the Motor City, we got a nice garage for all our fans to come in during the winter, dude. Watch the game, enjoy the environment, not sit outside freezing our nuts off. We're at least somewhat civilized here in the Motor City. You know what I'm saying? So come on over, dude. The water's fine. Tommy Cutlass for QB3 sounds fine since we don't have one. Dude, Brent, you see what I'm saying? Oh, what up, Sam? How you doing, bro? It's all good that you're late, dude. No worries, brother. I appreciate you just tuning in and doing your thing, you guys. I know we didn't do any call to action stuff today. This morning's been a little goofy, guys, so we're just going to keep like the captain of the Titanic. I'm telling the iceberg to get the fuck out of my way. We're just going to go ahead and motor on through this bad boy and keep talking about. Now we're going to shift gears. This is still tickling the bulls, the footballs of the national news clankers, but we will be, as does have to do with the Detroit Lions and the Jaguars acquire Fireball Tim Patrick this morning from the Detroit Lions, getting a little draft capital in exchange for a veteran player. I'm not mad about it. The Jags are acquiring Tim Patrick in a trade with the Detroit Lions. Jacksonville is sending a 2026 sixth-round pick back to Detroit as part of the deal. The 31-year-old receiver who missed all of 22 and 23 due to an ACL and Achilles respectively played 16 games in Detroit, corralling 33 passes for almost 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. An undrafted free agent 2017. We talked about this yesterday. He utilizes his hands, his size as a boundary and red zone threat. He looked like part of the future in Denver, signing a 3-year, $34.5 million contract extension with the Broncos in 21. Then the injuries stuck in and really screwed his career up. Patrick proved healthy last offseason, and after being released by Denver, signed with Detroit. He played wide receiver 3 for the NFC leading Lions, complementing Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamison Williams as a possession wide receiver. Now the veteran heads to Jacksonville, down to Duval, where he'll be a veteran presence alongside second-year stud Brian Thomas Jr., rookie Travis Hunter, and 25-year-old Diami Brown. With such a young crew, Coach Liam Cohen now adds a savvy vet with size who can play a reserve role and be a red zone target. Patrick goes from a Detroit offense in which he was lost in the shuffle to a unit in which he will have a better shot at carving out a role. Patrick reportedly didn't look great in Lions camp this season and was bypassed on the depth chart by rookie sensation Isaac Tisla. With a third-rounder flashing playmaking throughout camp and preseason, the Lions needed to ensure he would get reps. With Patrick now in Jacksonville, there is zero question about Tesla's place in the pecking order. At 6'4", 214 pounds, Tesla brings size to the Lions receiver core that it would have lacked sans Patrick. The rookie's additional field stretching ability, something Patrick consistently lacked following the injuries. It's another explosive dimension to the offense. That's the old... it's just getting passed by the newer, younger, faster model, dude. It's just the way of the NFL. The NFL's a business. And, think of the career Fireball Tim Patrick could have had if he hadn't have tore his ACL and then ruptured his Achilles, you know what I'm saying? Throughout the preseason, it was clear the Lions needed to ensure Tesla would continue to receive reps to aid his development. While he probably already leapfrogged Patrick in the pecking order, Wednesday's trade ensures the rookie will see the field plenty out of the gate. That really runs that that shows that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, because I've been saying for weeks now, obviously Tesla is going to be a huge part of the offense, but I was like, weeks 1 and 2, divisional opponents, big game on the road to open the week, got to start the season off right, get 2 wins up in the division. I was like, Fireball Tim Patrick, a veteran, has more experience, kind of some exposure, knows a few tricks of the trade that maybe a rookie doesn't necessarily know, and I was expecting to see Tim Patrick get the majority of the work weeks 1 and 2, at least, in the wide receiver 3 spot, and then slowly see Tesla become integrated before finally usurping that role and being our full-fledged wide receiver 3 throughout the duration of the season. But Brad Holmes, being the smartest man in the NFL, seeing things from a way and through a lens that the majority of people can't see, knows something that we don't know, and is obviously fully confident in the ability and skill set of Isaac Tesla where he's at now. Thinks that we have enough behind him with Khalif Raymond and Dominic Lovett to really solidify and bolster any type of hiccups that might happen. Obviously, I would expect to see Khalif Raymond get a little bit more rotationary work early on, just to kind of tie into what I was saying about familiarity. Weeks 1 and 2, divisional opponents. Khalif Raymond still being that veteran presence, though obviously Tesla is a very special person. Now, this does open the possibility up. We did have a 50-man roster heading into this trade. We then traded Fireball Tim Patrick, which would have knocked us down to 49 players. We did pick up, we'll talk about in a little bit of safety, to build up the secondary as far as a purebred safety and special teams ace. So we're still sitting at 50 of 53 guys. There is a possibility. What do you guys think about being Jackson Meeks being brought back into Detroit after he clears waivers? Do you think he clears waivers and comes in as that wide receiver, what would that be, 5 spot now? Because you'd have Waymo, Tesla, Khalif, Lovett. Yeah, so you're looking at a 6 spot. Do we go with that 6 wide receiver and bring back Jackson Meeks? I would love to see it. What do you guys think? Let me know, chat. How we doing? What up, Hat? I'm sorry to see Tim Patrick go, but it's a buzz. Yeah, dude, it sucks, Kerry. How you doing, by the way, brother? Hopefully, oh, what? Kerry, did you remove those? Okay, all right. I just want to make sure. We had some issues with the chat yesterday, just some things popping around. I want to make sure you're not getting cleared out on your chats, guys. Sorry if I missed anything. We've just been having some technical issues on a Wednesday morning. Let's go. It's just been one of those weeks, guys. Just keep plowing ahead here. 5 takeaways from the Lions' strange 50-man roster. Now, this did come out yesterday, so the news now that we'll be talking about still doesn't have Detroit, at least in this article. Fireball Tim Patrick is still on the roster. Lots of bubbles burst over at Pride of Detroit. Jeremy Reisman claimed the final 5 roster spots were going to be really tough to figure out, and he had 12 bubble players whose status would be hard to predict. These are all guys that we talked about. Lovett, Meeks, Muti, Neese, Akuwu, Lynn, Smith, Cooper, Pittman, Halleck, Strickland, and Kennelly. I thought those 12 players were fighting for 5 roster spots. Technically they were, but it turns out Detroit would only spend 2 on the group. 1 for Lovett and 1 for Smith. 3 spots went to nobody. The important thing to remember here is that most of the players are expected to clear waivers. Of this group, only Muti and Pittman have more than 2 years in the league. Most of these players have only a few snaps at the NFL level. A claimed player has to join a 53-man roster. Think back to the final preseason game. Did any of these players unequivocally earn a spot on an NFL roster? Jackson Meeks did. My guess is that 10 remaining bubble players who were cut, at least 8, will return to the practice squad. But what about those 3 spots? Well, there's a pretty good chance the Lions have plans for those roster spots. Last year, Detroit cut down to 52 players, and after claiming Trevor Nowitzki from waivers the next day, they were right back up to 53. This seems a little bit more than that. For one, it's hard to predict who will be on waivers, and it's even harder to predict whether your waiver claim will be beaten out by someone with a higher priority. Additionally, 3 spots suggest Lions already have primary and backup plans for those roster spots. One additional possibility is that they already have an agreement in place with an unsigned or recently released veteran who's not subject to waivers, which, of course, leads to more talk about. Get ready for it, guys. Drum roll, please. Here you go. It's what we all want to hear. It's what everybody's Instagram. Everybody's clamoring for it. Darius Smith is coming, right? Not only do the Lions have 3 open roster spots, but they opted to keep only 3 defensive ends on the initial 53-man roster. While Detroit can make up for some of that by utilizing players like Pat O'Connor, Mekhi Wingo, and Derek Barnes on the edge, it seems just as likely that a roster move at the position is coming. Smith and the Lions GM Brad Holmes have been doing a bit of a tango this entire offseason. Smith has made it clear he wants back in Detroit. Holmes responded by essentially saying the ball is in his court. It's possible the Lions are thinking about a different edge player out there. Maybe Jadeveon Clowney? Oh, or another player who was waived, like our guy here, Cleveland Farrell. Oh, possibly a little bit younger. But it always made the most sense to bring back Smith, where reacclimation period would be expedited, Jesus Christ, after his time with the Lions last year. And what about all those injuries, huh? What about, we got a lot of guys that were dinged up. Why not just send them to the IR? Why are we throwing an injuries designation or an injury settlement with our guy, the Egyptian magician, the Hammer, Ahmed Hassanin, the future fullback of the Detroit Lions? When projecting the Lions roster, it seemed likely the Lions were going to use at least one of 2 IR to return designations between Tristan Colon, Ahmed Hassanin, and Maurice Norris. The Lions opted not to use the designation on any of them. I'm still figuring out how the Lions were able to cut Cologne without any sort of injury designation or settlement. Perhaps he was medically cleared quicker than expected. Norris appears to have possibly made it through concussion protocol, so that's less surprising. The Hassanin waiving with an injury settlement was pretty stunning, to be honest. While I do think there's a very good chance he'll be back after the settlement is through, plus an additional 3 weeks. I don't understand the risk in putting him out there on waivers. Then the IR to return designation was right there. My best guess is the Lions simply don't want to burn one of their 8 returns from IR spots a team is given per season. Last year, the Lions used all 8, and Coach Dan Campbell even admitted during training camp that last year's injuries have caused him to look at the roster through a new lens. A little bit of PTSD about all those injuries. When you have a year like we did last year, you get a little affected by it, Campbell said. It was an effect on the way you think. Depth, depth, depth. We've got to make sure we have depth. You don't want to be a tuna can. You want to be reaching all the way to the bottom. If the team exhausts all their IR to return spots too quickly, it could cost them that depth down the line. This is another thing that we kind of been following. The undrafted free agent streak is over. Credit to Dave Burkett for pointing this out. But Detroit's 15-year streak of an undrafted rookie making the initial roster is over. Well, it seems like there were plenty of candidates to make it this year. Jackson Meath, Keith Cooper Jr., and Ian Kennelly, to name a few. By keeping just 50 players, the streak has effectively ended. I still expect those 3 to return to the practice if they clear waivers, but it's the end of an era. Still, as Burkett points out, some roster maneuvering could keep the, quote, rookie undrafted free agent on the team's Week 1 roster streak still alive. We will see. Now, we are short at defensive back, so this is I couldn't find anyone who really popped off. The Jalen Mills, maybe. You know, the guy out of Houston. Last year, the Lions kept 11 defensive backs on their initial 52-man roster. During the season, that number stayed between 10 and 11 for most weeks. However, Detroit's initial roster only consists of 8 players in the secondary. On one hand, the Lions can afford that, given how versatile that group of players is. Rock Ya-Sin and Avonte Maddox can play pretty much any position in the secondary. Amik Robertson can play inside or outside corner, and Brian Branch can drop down and play nickel, if need be. Still, don't be surprised if the Lions fortify that room by either bringing in another player or returning a waived player to the practice squad and elevating them for game day. What do you guys think about that? How do you guys feel about, what is your take, chat, on this 50-man roster that we are rolling with? How we doing down here? Who can Detroit trade for the next 12, who can Detroit trade for before 12 p.m. Eastern time today? Is that when Josh Prince. Good morning, Josh Prince. Nice to see you, brother. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the chat, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know who we can trade for, brother. Moody has some nastiness in him. Had a nice pickup block and leveled him. Yeah, and he could be back. Moody could be back. You know what I'm saying? Prediction: Lions find a big hunk of weight at center And I'm talking big. You're talking a big old fat ass right in the middle of the offensive line. I like Cole Strange, though. That sucked. The hammer got nailed with the release. Sam, yeah, it did. But let's be real. Outside of Detroit, nobody's really that high on Ahmed Hassanin, you know. I don't, especially with the injury, there's no one's going to claim him because if they claim him off of waivers, he's got to be put on their active 53-man roster. He didn't really flash that much in preseason action. I'm pretty sure that, would that be week 8, week 9 at this point? Ahmed will be back on the practice squad and be in camp for the Lions next year. We'll be having this conversation next preseason about Ahmed taking that stop. He's going to be the Nate Lynn of next year's preseason. So it's a possibility. It's a strong possibility. I don't see anybody picking up the hammer. It sucks. You know what I'm saying? So over here, Tim 20-man, he's got everything broken down. Our quarterbacks, we got 2 of them. It's clear after the 3rd preseason game, Allen had the edge of quarterback over Hooker. Goff had a really nice training camp and looks to pick up where he left off last season when he was 2nd in passing yards with 4,600, 2nd in completions with 72.4, passer rating 111, and 4th in touchdown passes with 37. Allen provides veteran experience behind Goff with 19 career starts. No Hendon Hooker means we could be looking for another developmental player. I am all about Tommy DeVito. Bring in Tommy Cutlass, baby! Let's go! Running backs, we're going to carry 4. And it's the guys we all assumed that they were going to keep. Gibbs, Monty, Craig Reynolds, and Sione Vaki, which means we were separating ties with Sailors and Deion Jackson. Pretty straightforward here. Those Sailors could be a good candidate to bring back on the practice squad if he makes it. He runs hard, and the Lions like his skill set. Gibbs and Montgomery form arguably the best running back duo in the league. The Lions wouldn't hesitate if they had to put Reynolds in the game to carry the load. How much more might we see of Vaki on offense this season? That's really the only question mark with this group. It's true, and hopefully, I am hoping that Jacob Sailors clears waivers and we can bring him back to the practice squad. I'm going to be rolling with the 6, now 5 wide receivers with Tim Patrick being gone. So look for one of these guys. If it were down to we were going to bring one of these guys onto the active roster, right? There are 2 guys that can make it. That is clearly the front runner, Jackson Meeks, and then Tom Kennedy, TK85. Tesla has a chance to play a role in this offense and special teams early on. Well, that changes now that Tim Patrick's been traded. He is more advanced than most rookie mid-round picks entering the league. Lovett was a 7th-round selection by the Lions this year. He had a nice camp, could help his team initially on special teams. Too bad he doesn't have the hands. Meeks, 6'2", was an undrafted free agent who had a great preseason with 11 catches for 170 yards and 2 touchdowns. It just came down to a numbers game on the roster. If he clears waivers, he could be a candidate for the practice squad. If he clears waivers, he could be a candidate for the active roster. We're going to roll. I just hate it. I hate the 3 tight ends. I like our top 2 tight ends. I don't like Shane Zylstra. I'd rather Zach Horton because of his run blocking ability, and it sucks that Yeboah went out. A versatile group, Laporta, Wright, and Zylstra, that should allow new offensive coordinator Johnny Moe the ability to deploy them in any package he sees fit. Zylstra had a nice camp and showed improvement as a blocker, in which likely why he won the number 3 job. Yeah, we know Laporta missed some time with injury. When he was on the field, he was one of Detroit's top skill players in camp. Derp. We're going to go with 9 offensive linemen: Decker, Mahogany, Glasgow, Ratledge, Penny Sewell, Keoti Awashika, Giovanni Manu, Jamarco Jones, and Kingsley Ekugon. I hate the Kingsley Ekugon. Hey, hold on. Dan Skipper, probably going to be back, though. Can we be honest, guys? Is Dan Skipper really going to get picked up by another team? Is Dan Skipper really that coveted of a tackle? Is he really? Are there just teams champing at the bit to get their dirty little dick beaters on your friendly neighborhood Dan Skipper? Let's be honest. Dan Skipper is a gadget player. He's fun for Lions fans. He's literally the biggest troll in the NFL. He's 6 foot 1,000, right? And we go out there and we split him out wide as an eligible wide. Dan Skipper is a troll package, okay? He's not really that great of an offensive lineman. We put a lot of hype on him because he comes in and plays when need to, but he's no Taylor Decker. He's no Penny Sewell. So, yes, it sucks that our friendly neighborhood Dan Skipper got cut. The reality is there's not going to be that much interest in him. He's probably going to be back here in the Honolulu Blue doing exactly what he's been doing for years. Defensive line, we're only going to carry 9 defensive linemen. Hutch, Davenport, Reeder, Tyleek Williams, Roy Lopez, Pat O'Connor, Al-Kadim Muhammad, Makai Wingo, and Chris Smith, which means that our guy Nate Lynn and Keith Cooper Jr. got cut, which sucks. We were very happy. Yesterday I expressed just how happy I was that Broderick Martin was no longer on the team. Cooper was a great story in camp, starting out as a tryout player and working his way to first-team reps. He could be a candidate to return to the practice squad. Lynn was probably a tough cut, too, given the camp he had. He could also be a practice squad candidate. Hutch and Davenport looked terrific in camp as Detroit's top edge duo. Hopefully he can stay healthy. We're going to carry 6 linebackers into the regular season. Action Jack Campbell, Alex Anelzone, Derek Barnes, our guy Grant Stewart, and Zach Cunningham and Trevor Nowitzki managed to work his way onto the roster, though probably going to be either Zach Cunningham or Trevor Nowitzki, depending on injuries, that will end up being the odd man out once Rodrigo returns, and I have lots of hype and hopes around Malcolm Rodriguez. Defensive backs is where we're a little light at. Going to have DJ Reed, Terrion Arnold, Amik Robertson, Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, Rocky Sin, Avante Maddox, and Khalil Dorsey. Going to need a safety spot there, you guys. I think we need to make a move there or bring back one of these dudes. Eric Hallett would be the top guy on my list to be that bubble practice squad active roster guy. Ian Kennelly, though, should probably definitely be brought back to the practice squad simply because of the story and that I'm a big old fan of him. And then our special teams players, Jake Bates, Jack Fox, and Hogan Hatton. No changes there. How are you doing, chat? What do you think about all this? What do you guys think? What do you think we do with them 3 spots? Are we bringing in a defensive end? Are we bringing somebody in? Is that what's going to be going on? How are we doing? I forgot there's a poll up here. Damn, 19 votes. Damn, yo, there's shitload of you guys in the chat. Holy shit. Damn, okay, right on. Yo, could you guys just, do me a solid and like the video, share it around. You can circumvent the clankers by just copying the link down on your clipboard. And subscribe if you're new here. Yo, we're growing. We're over 700 subscribers. We picked up 3 new guys yesterday. That's friggin' awesome, dude. So if we could just keep that going, I really appreciate you guys, dude. With recent cuts, we can find Sam. So, dude, Sam, I am so high on Cole Strange being our backup center. Ekugan is not it. Cole Strange can play guard and center while he develops at the backup center spot. I'm telling you, Cole Strange is the way to go, dude. I think Cole Strange is that guy. What up, broski? How you doing, brother? His offensive tackle depth, a player who can play swing tackle or blocking tight end. Oh, you're talking about your friendly neighborhood Dan Skipper. I know he's depth, but the reality is he's just not that good of a player in comparison to 32 other teams being too deep at tackle. You know what I'm saying? Skip back on the practice squad, 150%. Brent, is that speculation or is that set in stone? So if he doesn't sign with another team. I would not, though, Broski. So, Broski, I would be more surprised if he signed with another team if he was 28, but he's 31. Oops. There we go. Let's pull up the practice squad tracker. Anybody on it yet? Nobody officially put on the... Come on. Come on, load, baby. Nothing. All right, I got nothing on SI.com yet officially. Nothing yet. John Macron an hour ago. He's pretty up to date on everything. Validity, and there's blah blah blah, blah blah blah. They know we're about blah blah blah. Have to put in waiver claims on players or the roster. Oh, okay. All right. So we got to put in waiver claims by 12 p.m. by lunchtime. So a little over an hour from now, we got to put in waiver claims. And is typical for us here at the Hat and Beard Show, everything will be breaking when we're not live. So it'll just be points of discussion for tomorrow that we'll talk about. We'll keep an eye on this to see if anything changes between now and the end of the show. We have one last story that I want to talk about, and that is we did sign a cut player. We did go after wheeling and dealing with the Jacksonville Jaguars, sending Fireball Tim Patrick in exchange for a 6th-round pick. We went and signed Lions signing veteran safety. Special teams ace Dave Phipp is happy. He's a very happy boy. The Detroit Lions made an addition to the roster. Mere minutes after the news, the team's decision to trade Fireball Tim Patrick surfaced. Reports indicated the team is signing free agent safety Daniel Thomas. With the signing, the Lions roster currently stands at 50 players. Ironically, the Lions traded Tim Patrick to Thomas's former team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Detroit elected to keep just 2 true safeties on their roster at the cut-down deadline, and Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. Veterans Rock Yassin and Avante Maddox both have seen some time at the position during training camp. The team elected to part ways with 3 other options at the positions: Strickland, Kennelly, and Norris. We know that. Thomas appeared in 71 games, all with Jacksonville, since entering the league as a 5th-round pick in the 2022 NFL Draft out of Auburn. He has made 4 starts and has played primarily on special teams. To this point in his career, Thomas has totaled 71 combined solo and assisted tackles, logged 2 passes defended, and 1 interception, which came in his rookie season. In his 4 seasons, Thomas has played 1,100 special teams snaps, which has been appealing to the Lions coaching staff. Thomas was released by Jacksonville Tuesday as part of the NFL roster cut-down deadline. Teams were forced to trim their training camp roster down to a maximum of 53 players. Detroit elected to go even further by keeping just 50 players at the deadline. So we went and got ourselves a little safety depth, a little special teams depth. Not really a big flashy... Not the flashy type play or move you kind of want to see teams make, right? We didn't go out and get ourselves a playmaking rotationary defensive end. We didn't go and grab ourselves a nice piece to add to the offensive line. We went and got a special teams safety. Cool. Cool. Awesome. Cool. Boy, that's just what we like to see. How we doing, chat? What's up with Z? Sam Armstrong. Nobody quite knows what's going on with Big Z yet. Orange Shaw. Good morning. How you doing, brother? All this to probably Brad Holmes trolling us and pounding the table for an edge during the draft. Yeah, possibly, dude. We all wanted an edge, and he did kind of troll us on that. Well, I'll see this afternoon if he signs somewhere else. Broski, you got that right on. You're talking about the friendly neighborhood Dan Skipper. Brent, you hope he's back. What's up with Z? Sam, we're waiting to see. According to Brad Holmes, the ball is in Big Z's court. What you're probably going to end up finding is Z is going to probably, look, there's a reason why there's all this smoke around Big Z, and where there's smoke, there's probably fire. The reality is Darius Smith is a 30-something, 32-year-old veteran. Probably didn't want to do training camp, probably didn't want to do preseason, and he's probably going to sign with the Lions. That's why we cut down to 53. That's why we didn't keep Nate Lynn. That's why we only have 3 defensive ends on active rosters. Odds are we're probably going to be bringing back Zadarius Smith. If I were a betting guy, I would probably say that's the bet. Lions definitely signing DN as Big Z the answer to the Lions situation. He's probably not the answer, but he's probably going to be what they end up doing, broski. Thomas Donner, good morning. How you doing, bro? Welcome to the chat. I believe he's not great. I get it. But Skipper will be back. Why? He can play 4 positions in the emergency, both guards, both tackles, and an extra blocker. Thomas Donner, you are correct. The hyper-versatility of your friendly neighborhood Dan Skipper elevates him in the eyes of the Detroit Lions front office, and I think you are correct in your analysis of that. That is the number one reason why the Lions will bring him back, is because of his hyper-versatility along the offensive line, being that big jumbo tight end. You know, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I think maybe we cut down probably to give him an opportunity to see if somebody wanted to give him a bag elsewhere, maybe make a couple extra $1 dues, but he's probably, let's be real, Dan Skipper's probably going to be back. He's not that great, and I get it, and I'm with you there, Thomas, but yeah, he's probably going to be back, right? Did I see Penny saying Davenport is teaching him things, and he's a dog? No shit, Sam, no shit. Well, that's some high praise from a future Hall of Famer in Penny Sewell. Eric Torres, please turn down the Oh, Eric, yeah, dude, we've been dealing with audio stuff all morning, bro. I don't know what's going on, man. We spent like the first 20 minutes trying to wrestle with it, bro. I have no idea what's going on, brother. Terribly sorry about that. I can see the Bears sign Skipper, broski. I think you want the Bears to sign Skipper. You kind of been bringing that up a couple of times the last few days. I think you're more into it than you want. The Bears to sign Skipper. Why is Skipper valuable? He's healthy. I get Sorsdahl again. Colby Sorsdahl. You mean the living ham, the human ham with arms and legs? Not great, but Sorsdahl could back up the entire O-line in emergency, all in one player. Yeah, Sorsdahl could, but Sorsdahl's on IR. Trade for an edge rusher before the 12 p.m. Eastern time today. So, Josh, who would you trade for, my guy? What kind of a trade? Are you talking bring in like a big star, or are you trying to bring in like a rotationary guy? And if so, who's that cat? Especially when there's bodies out there like a Zadarius Smith, like a Cleveland Farrell, Jadeveon Clowney. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. I have no idea. I have no idea. We're gonna go ahead and refresh the SI, see if anything's happened as we get closer. We're gonna kind of milk it out for another few minutes here, guys. But then we're gonna kind of call it a day. Been having some tech issues all morning, so I appreciate you guys hanging out and dealing with it. I really don't know what the fuck's going on, man. It all started Monday or something. Hey, David Barnett, welcome to the chat, dude. I think we all kind of were rooting for Ian Kennelly to make the roster, brother. It's just the reality is, I don't think he's there yet. Like, he's shown some flashes, and he's a nice project piece. I think Ian Kennelly will be a nice stash on the practice squad in case of fire, break glass type play at the safety room. But he's just not quite there in terms of he's very raw and very good. But we really got to kind of polish down his rough edges a little bit. Look, love Brad and Dan, but moving Tim P is a pro and reliable art. Now, if someone gets hurt, do we have to pick up a player who has to learn the O or play another rookie? Thomas, I see where you're at, dude. Your audio is fine. Sounds hollow but clear. Yeah, dude, something's going on with it. Honestly, I might have. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm a fucking caveman, dude. I turn wrenches for a living, bro. I don't understand all this fandangled technology. I turn wrenches and fix robots is what I actually do, and then I put two pieces of metal together through a fucking electrical current and a fucking chemical reaction. You know what I'm saying? I guess it would be a chemical reaction because you're exploding the gas. I don't it's something we're working on. we're working on the audio, fellas. Big Star Walker to Detroit. Who do you mean, Walker? Who you mean? Who you mean, Josh? I'm not sure who you mean. Fucking ads. So far, doesn't look like anybody's been signed to the practice squad yet. No moves yet. We're gonna go ahead and just check Lions News, see if there's anything. Campbell's preseason set to be a bigger role. Yes, everybody's writing articles about Tim Patrick being traded and how that's bountiful for Isaac Tesla. We signed dipshit. Yeah, nothing new yet. Nothing new yet, guys. Nothing new, unfortunately. Frank the Tank, what's up, brother? Coming in a little late, but hey, man, at least you're here. Sorry about the audio, guys. It seems like when you bump your mic, it gets hollow, then bump it again, and it's fine. Oh, okay, so it's like, it probably in the can itself, huh? Yeah, dude, just saw you 10 minutes ago. Gonna check you out for a while. Good hunting, go Lions! Hell yeah! Well, thanks, Thomas. I appreciate it, brother. You know, we're growing, dude. We're growing, so why not get in on the ground level, dude, as we're trying to light this popsicle, you know what I'm saying? Whoever the pickup trade free agents wise be lucky to see 5 to 10 snaps. Go Lions. Hey, you know, you might not be wrong. Our roster does seem pretty set, but we do like some we do like a little bit of depth. You know, Dan Campbell does have that depth fear after last year. So hopefully we can make some moves, you guys. We'll see come noon. Unfortunately, I got to start wrapping it up here, fellas. It's the end of the show. Two guys I'm looking for is Cleveland Farrell or possibly Cole Strange. And then you guys know me, that quarterback, the third quarterback spot. Why not bring in Tommy DeVito, baby? Bring in Tommy Cutlets. Let's go, fellas. So today was all about news, cuts, possible roster moves, Tim Patrick being traded to the Jags, 5 takeaways from the Lions' strange 50-man roster. What could be done with those 3 extra spots? Tim 20-man's breakdown in the initial 50/53-man roster. The Lions signing veteran safety, special teams ace. Unfortunately, that means now we got 4 safeties in-house. So it doesn't look like Eric Hallett is going to be able to make his way back to the active roster, at least not initially. And then, of course, the two guys that I would like us to go ahead and sign, Cole Strange and Cleveland Farrell. So awesome. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me this morning. Trayvon Walker to Detroit by 12 p.m. Eastern time for a trade. You think, huh? You think, Frank says the team is stacked, go right now, and this is going to be one hell of a season. With a schedule and every game will be a playoff game. Get your popcorn ready. Practice squad by 12 o'clock. We need 4 safeties on the 53. Dave, we have 4. Technically, we have 4 now. We got Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch. Avante Maddox is technically slotted as a safety, and now we brought in this dude, I can't remember his name, from Jacksonville to play at the safety, more of a special teamers role. So. Thanks for suffering with me through the audio, you guys. Probably going to be a little bit of a slog during the rest of the week. Full disclosure, I have no idea if we're going to be live tomorrow or Friday because I have no idea if we're going to be doing CBA negotiations or not because everybody's dropping the fucking ball. So I have no idea. We were supposed to have union negotiations tomorrow and Friday. Nobody's telling me shit. Nobody seems to know what's going on. Right hand has no idea what the left hand's doing where I work. It is just a clusterfuck. So I don't know. Keep an eye on the community tab. I'll try and let you guys know, but we should, at least for now, plan on being live tomorrow and Friday. Audio issues are probably still going to be a bit of a situation here. You got to give me to the weekend to really work this out. I don't have time in the morning during the week. My schedule's too jam-packed. So thank you guys for slogging with me through it. We'll try and polish it down. Early on it was rough, but you guys are some straight OGs suffering with me through it here. So thank you so much for all you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. You guys, that's what we love about you. This channel is blowing up, and it's all because of every single one of you that goes down to that share button, copies that link down your clipboard, and it just circumvents the clankers of the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? It makes it look like we're way more popular than we are and gets us out, gets us to new faces, and I really appreciate you guys doing that. Thanks for taking part in the poll. One last look, ended up with 25 votes. This is an all-time high of votes. What position group needs bolstering? D-line walking away with 60% of the vote, and I think you guys are 100% correct on that one. So it's been a good day. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your week. We are now on the back half of the week, so it's all downhill skiing from here, fellas. Trying to keep it cool, calm, and collected. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Stay out of trouble. We should be back tomorrow morning, but like I said, keep an eye on that community tab, all right? Have a good rest of your day. I've been Hat and Beard. You have been an attentive audience. Until next time, bonga bonga. Frig off.